Let's go. All right, everyone. This video is actually going to be for Henry's foster family. And I thought that it might be useful for anyone out there who's done slip leash training or prong collar training and is like, 75% of the way there and needs a little bit more guidance on, how to get the rest of the way. So a couple things is leash direction, okay? So pressure is over. He understands pressure. He knows what it means. He's down to just little pop cues or actual corrections. So first of all, let's talk about the difference. Pop cues is just information. So like that is just a little pop cue. No big correction, just, hey, stop, slow down. It's kind of hot, so my guess is if I tell him to sit, he may not sit. Yeah, see, he moved. He didn't really listen. So I'm going to give him a pop cue. Sit. Good. So that was straight up in the air, all right, because that's for sit. So that was a pop cue, all right. If I'd wanted to give a correction, I would have been firmer with my voice, and I would have been much firmer with my pop. It's really the only difference between a cue and a correction. A correction is pay attention now, or take the wind out of your sails. Or cue is just, that's what it is. It's just a little bit of information, all right. Okay, so let's talk about leash direction. The only time I ever want anybody to go up, straight up in the air with a leash, in my opinion, that I can think of off the top of my head, is one for sit, like I did just right there, and then for sniffing. If a dog puts their head down to the ground to sniff, I'll pop up in the air nope. But let me do a little bit firmer one because he popped up. Sit. Good boys. That was more, I get eye contact that time because that was more on a correction level. That is pay attention to me. I didn't tell you to get up, buddy. Notice on the last one, I don't think I got eye contact. It was just a little cue. So that kind of gives you an idea. He was like, what? Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to still be sitting. Okay. So anyway, up in the air. That's my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. If your dog juts out in front of you after another dog, I understand that at some point the direction has to be like back and up some. I get that, but that's not how I actually want you to turn that dog around, and I'm going to show you that now. Mostly what we'll be using is cues, unless I need to do a correction, which I'll try to see if I can set up. And on this hot day, even though we haven't been out here very long, it definitely dulls his senses a bit, and he likes to keep moving for whatever reason when it's hot, and he's just kind of a fast-paced dog anyway. We might come across a good correction. All right, so heel position for him is just his head right by me. He does still bop into me some. He does still get Speedy Gonzalez. See, there he goes. No? Heel. Good. Now, that was to the side. Did you notice that? So, I don't like back. Do not like it. Even if I do pop right here like a cue, see how it's still kind of to the side? That is a preference of mine, okay? I don't like holding dogs back and up. Now, let's see. So preferably your dog won't even get out in front of you enough to do it to the side here. Preferably it's actually back behind your behind, because you only want 2 to 3 inches of slack. You see that? 2 to 3 inches of slack for him, because he's like right next to me. A smaller dog, still same thing, 2 to 3 inches of slack. That way they can't get out ahead of you that much in the first place, to where they trip you up or try to switch sides or try to go potty on something. That way, I'm going to walk by this tree and show you what I mean. That way, as soon as they pull towards a bush, they're not already on the bush peeing before you get a chance to tell them, no, we're walking here. So I'll give you an example. No, let's go. Good. So just see, as soon as he pulls, I'm right there. I'm right on top of him. Because if I don't catch it early, the level of force needed, or just the confusion that it causes, because you can't let your dog go all the way out there and then be like, no, and pop them to come back because they want to pee on a tree whenever you're walking down the street. Now, if I want him to go potty, it's really simple. I got this short leash, go potty, and I give him room. And he gets, 10, well, he doesn't need, 30 seconds. He needs about 2 seconds. Good boy. And then I reel him back in. I grab where I need to, which is, for him, literally like practically right on top of the clip. Let's go. Good boy. Heel. Good boy. So we're just going to walk a bit. Now let's talk about when your dog does pull out ahead of you towards a person, towards another dog, a squirrel, to potty, things like that, and they just really pull out with a lot of force, or your leash isn't short enough, short, not tight, there's a difference, but your leash isn't short enough, and they go out ahead. So there's a dog up ahead, so I'm just going to slow down because I bet he'll go out. Yeah, he will. Let's go. Good boy. Come on. All right, so let's talk about what I just did. Oh, let's go in the shade first. Oh, we're not going towards the dog, buddy. All right, so he went out ahead. I did not go down his spine. I did not go up. This was not the angle. I actually bent over at the waist, went to the side, and said, let's go. Good boy. So see, nope, let's go. Good job, buddy. So see how I give him guidance, leash guidance? I don't stop and say, come on, let's go. You see how that does not work? See, and I'm giving him pressure too. So he's going to sit. Good boy. I'm going to loosen the leash because I don't want to confuse him. So pressure down the spine, down the back of the spine. Unless your dog has really good rear end awareness and will back up, that's what that means. What do you do with a horse? Whenever you do that, you go from both sides of a horse and pull backwards. You have to teach them to back up. Well, dogs don't really do that. So if you need them to come to you, you actually need to bend over and not up here, especially for you people with little dogs. You need to bend over. Let's go, bud. Go to the side and keep them moving. It's just giving them direction, all right? Even if it's a correction, even if he bolts out in front of me acting like a jerk, I am still gonna go to the side. Let's go. Good boy. Come on, buddy. Good job. Let's go. Come on, turn your big butt around. Good boy. Now, notice how he paid more attention to me at that time, and that's why I didn't do a correction, because I knew he'd look at me after doing a few turnarounds. You don't even have to have a distraction, especially with him. He likes to test new people. So the way you can get him more in tune with you is just by reminding him that you're there and you're not going to let him run the show. So what you can do is just what I did. Just do a few turnarounds. Let your dog go ahead of you for a bit. Loose leash. Give him a pop to turn around. Say, let's go. And then try to turn around again. See if they pay more attention. I bet you they will if you give them a crisp enough pop. Now notice that my pops don't physically move him. They are not a pull. They're not like a pull and a pop. They are crisp, quick pops. Now let's say your dog is pulling. See if I can get him to pull towards this tree. Yeah, go potty. Let's say your dog is pulling and the leash is tight and you can't pop him. It's your job to physically give a little bit of slack and say, let's go. He likes to eat grass. Good job, buddy. Good job. And that was not a correction. That was just a cue because he didn't do anything wrong there. If he had actually jutted out there on his own, then I would have corrected him, which is just stronger. So a correction generally gets you eye contact, or if they're going after a squirrel or something, it's something that needs to be strong enough to take the wind out of their sails, to put them in their place. And then a cue, just like I said before, that's all it is a cue. Sit, bud. Good boy. He says, I'm tired. He likes this though. I mean, he really does. I mean, I know it's hot and I know he's moving slow, but he's kind of always like this. And he is a Speedy Gonzales. He likes to go really fast. And if you have a dog that likes to go fast, part of it is just, his sheer size, isn't it, buddy? If you have a dog that likes to go fast, that's fine, but vary the pace up. What I've found with him, let's go, bud, get some water and head out of here. What I've found with him is that he, specifically, especially in the neighborhood, at night, he's like, ooh, this is the potty walk. So he gets excited and he pulls a lot, expecting to get a lot of freedom. And I counteract that by making him go extra slow. So you want to just vary that up, because especially with him, I find myself starting to go his pace rather than my own pace. Also, if you're Speedy Gonzales the whole time, how are you teaching your dog to be able to be calm and follow your lead? All right. So to give you an example, if we see another dog and he gets hyped up, or a squirrel, unless I'm in a bad situation or he's not responding and I need to speed by, if that's not the case, which most of the time it's not, I go extra slow. I'm like, no, nice, and controlled, and you're going to listen to me. All right, so those are my tips. And one more thing is his release word is break. A lot of people use okay. I used to use okay, but it's too common in everyday conversation. Some people like to use free. So even for the water, normally I would just go right up to it and say break. But even for the water, break. Oh, sorry. See, I accidentally pulled on the leash. Good boy. He's really sensitive to leash pressure. He's a good job. He did a good job. Yeah. There you go. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So even for the release word, some people use free. I've heard break. I've heard released, stuff like that. So yeah, use what you want, but make sure you know, especially when you're training, you want to use it regularly so you don't confuse. Let's go. So you don't confuse your dog. We're going to go in the grass. I'm going to show you the sniffing one. Nope. Nope. Let's go. So his head is low. I don't mind that. And his head's not usually low like this. It's because of the grass. Oops, squirrel? No. Good boy. Let's go. That was a correction. It was actually kind of a crappy one. The timing wasn't perfect because I was looking through my viewfinder. But that was a correction. No. And that was delayed. See that no? I would have wanted to say that no as soon as he looked over again. Just no. And the whole point of that is if he looks at a human like that, looks at a dog, looks at anything like that, I'm going to say no and keep him moving, because nothing else is his concern. His only job is to walk with me, not be concerned about his environment. That's what helps dogs calm down. You take that role away from them of thinking they need to be looking and reacting to everything around them. No, they absolutely don't. I don't care if someone stomps up behind us. If he spins and turns around, I'm going to correct him and say, no, you don't need to worry about that person. I do. I can worry about him, but you don't. And if any of you out there, I actually had this question recently from someone who does want a dog who's protective, but yet it's gotten out of hand. And the thing is if you don't say no and you need protection, you know, that dog's going to handle it regardless. But if you don't and you've got everything under control, you don't want to put that dog in a position to be making decisions like that constantly, because that's what makes them anxious, overprotective, aggressive, nervous, all those things. What a good boy. All right, guys. I've went on long enough. Have a good one.